Welcome back to the channel. It's Coach Hunt, and in this video I'm going to answer the question of how do you figure out what you truly want? I know I've asked this question for myself multiple times throughout my decades. And now that I'm in my crown era, I look and see and think about and utilize intuition to answer and ask this question frequently. It's not about figuring out, it's about deciding first and foremost. And a lot of ways that I do this is I go back to reading. Yes, reading and reading nonfiction. I read nonfiction to listen to the storylines of different authors and pull in kind of like from my imagination. Yes, I would like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And no, I don't want a little bit of that. And nor do I want a little bit of that. But it's something about nonfiction for me that gets my imagination going and my dreams going, and I'm out of chaos and worry and thought processes that don't lead me to my ideal lifestyle. So that's one way I know how to figure out what I want, what I truly desire. It's amazing to me that if you don't have an input from somewhere about possibilities, sometimes your mind, or I can even say most of the time, your mind doesn't conceive something that it's never thought of. It can collaborate and put information in from one, like say from a movie or from a book or even from social media, different areas, and then create something new for you. But the mind needs input. And the more you input it in things that are positive, that is going to grow with you, then you have more opportunities to follow up with your thought processes to quote unquote figure out what's next for you. What do you truly want? What do you truly desire? Another thing I do about figuring things out, especially when I'm trying to make a choice from left or right or up and down or whatever that choice is, I'm going to journal. I'm going to write it out. I'm going to do what I need to do to think about the quote unquote pros and cons and know that whatever direction I choose is the best direction for me in that moment. And again, I'm going to use my intuition. And because sometimes you look at some pros and cons, and the cons are only because they are fearful. You're identifying a particular fear, not necessarily an absolute prognosis, only a probability. And we don't live, or I would say in this crown era, I don't want to live with um, negative possibilities. If there's a prognosis, meaning it's almost 100% going to end up this way, then I know I have a better way to make choices, and you have a better way to make choices. The possibilities are endless, and yeah, so do a pros and cons, and know that your cons are normally because they're based on fear and not facts or the truth of what is a higher prognosis of what a solution could be. Okay. And let's see, how else do I try to figure out what I really truly want and desire? Besides reading and writing, because those are fundamental, right? I also look at my environment, and I recommend that we all do that. I look at my environment just with in nature, just doing a walk and a talk with God, with spirit, and just having that direct line, looking at actual in person. I don't want to say it. So I'll give you an example. When I'm walking on the trail, sometimes I see couples walking together, and some hold hands, some are walking far apart, or sometimes some are even fighting. And it's like a real life movie, and I'm able to look at them, not to judge them, but to say, do I want that? Is something in their relationship that I desire, or is something in their aura, their energy that I desire? That's one of the ways that I also think about how I can figure out what's my next steps are. And of course, having a coach and a mentor to and your BFF to bounce ideas off so that you know that your perspective is not you're not blinded by your perspective and what's possible, because many times ignorance we are ignorant in our choices, we're ignorant in our possibilities, and we need someone else with grand wisdom and opportunities that we never thought of, who've already achieved them, to be in our direct sight and direct connection. So, yeah, that's how you figure out what you truly want. Another thing is to know who you truly are and who you truly want to become. Because when you first look in the inwards and you identify or label yourself a particular way, then you know you have a direction or a set path that you can go, and know that your end results will take many roads to get there. There's not one road for end result. Just that's it's impossible. The end result is the end, but there's many roads to the end. I've always believed that. I think about that with college. I think about that with jobs, sports, anything, because every person has their own role and perspective, and everyone in that role and that perspective can finish the finish line, because there's only one finish line, and we all have different roads to get there. So if you need clarity in this, or if you have any other ways that you yourself go look at how you can figure out your life, and you're still trying to figure it out, you're like, how do I figure this out? Know that you are not alone. You can put in the comments and I will support you with that. I definitely would love to respond. If you need clarity on anything, I got you. If at any time you know that you want to move forward with coaching or mentorship, that information is in the description box. And if you need support in loving yourself the way you can, so you can see the bigger possibilities in your life, I have an offer for you, which is the love refill, and that will be in the pin. That will be in the description box and possibly in the pin comments as well. So this is Coach Hunt. I'm a holistic self-love coach that support women in their crown era to have the best life ever, whatever that means for you, because your best life is not from society, it's from your heart. It's truly heart driven and soul driven. And I'm here to support you in identifying that and keep and putting you on that path the best way possible. I love you guys so much. Again, I have your greatest interest at heart. Bye.